A Million Ways to Die in the West is a comedy written and directed by and starring Seth MacFarlane, the creator of Family Guy and of American Dad and all these other things that are funnier than this movie. God, you know what? This movie should have been called A Million Ways for a Joke to Fall Flat on Its Ass in the West, or the North, or the South, or the East, or wherever you may be while watching this movie. I guarantee you will not be laughing. And it pains me to say that because I'm a huge fan of Seth MacFarlane and his random, crazy, offensive humor. But even though there are versions of that comedy in this movie, he's done better. And if you're a fan, watching this movie is a constant reminder that he's done better. Every second you're not laughing. And for a 2-hour movie, you walk out probably having laughed maybe 3 times. That's a lot of seconds. And that's a lot of reminding. The fact that there are dramas funnier than this movie is, I don't understand it. Saving Private Ryan, Terms of Endearment, Precious, Albert Nobbs, all funnier than this movie somehow. Don't ask me how, but it's science. It's a fact. There are probably only 2 things maybe that could save you from having a horrible movie going experience while watching this movie. One, don't see the trailers. Trailers highlight all the funniest parts of the movie, leaving you with absolutely nothing to salvage this wreckage from. Two, not being familiar with Family Guy or American Dad or even Ted, which wasn't even that funny of a movie, but it's Citizen Kane compared to this. I mean, there was a point in the movie where I was so tired of not laughing that I just laughed at a random image of rocks. Like the movie, it was just a scenery shot, and there were rocks, and I laughed. I was like, "Oh, rocks!" Yeah, there were literally crickets in my movie theater, and I'm not even joking about that. There were crickets. I heard crickets. They were in the theater. It's like the movie theater. The real guy was like, "Oh God, they're not laughing. Bring in the musicians." It was like the Titanic was going down, and they were trying to calm us all down for this complete disaster. Oh, everybody relax. We're all gonna die, but listen to this. Dear God. Charlize Theron is a saving grace to this movie. She's beautiful, and she is adding a lot of emotional depth to a character that really didn't or wasn't designed to have emotional depth. Whatever she does, she's good. She could be sitting on a couch eating top ramen, and she would be as captivating. And Liam Neeson, born badass, even though he's Liam Neeson in almost every movie he's in, including this one, how can you go wrong? You can't complain. The guy is awesome. He could be sitting on a couch eating top ramen, and he would be as entertaining. I take that back. He would have to be sitting on the couch eating top ramen and accepting a phone call from a serial killer who tells him that he has his daughter, but then he'll be like, "Oh, you have my daughter, do you? Well, I'll have your balls in a bag," or whatever he says when that happens. And then Seth MacFarlane, I think this might be his live action debut movie, but I'm not 100% sure. He's okay in it. He's not bad, but instead of a leading man, he kind of feels like this host at the Oscars who wrote this monologue that he's basically just reciting. And though what he's reciting is clever at times and funny, the way he performs it isn't. And the fact that he's so manicured and it's the 1800s, like his teeth are really white and his skin complexion is really good. Mind-boggling. I'm in 2014. My teeth aren't that white. I've got pimples. What's up with that? Proactive, better in the 1800s than now? I don't know. Minor gripe, but it still distracted me. I give A Million Ways to Die in the West a C minus, and that's because I thought the trailers were funny and I laughed at those. And since those are part of the movie, I gotta kind of factor that in. But otherwise, this is a laughless experience that I highly recommend you miss, or at least wait until it hits like HBO or something. You can read all my written reviews at entertainmentautopsy.com. Again, that's www.entertainmentautopsy.com. Enjoy the movies, folks, just not this one.